Welcome to another episode of the Billionaire Belief Show. This is your host, the one and only Dhane Diesil, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is about business, specifically the three main parts of a business, because someone asked me if I could talk about that. So I said, what the hell? Let's turn it into a podcast episode. So that's what the goal is for today. We're going to specifically be talking about the three core departments of every business, no matter what industry they are in. And those three core departments are management, marketing, and accounting. So we'll go through each one, get clarity as to what each department is, what each department does, and some of the things you can do in this day and age to help yourself improve the performance in each department. So let's dive in. First department up is my favorite, marketing. Actually, no, I take that back. It being my favorite, we'll say that for last. Let's get the other two departments knocked out the way first, because marketing is going to be one of the main important ones. So let's focus first and foremost on accounting. Now, every business earns money and it pays out money, period. Money comes in, money flows out. Cash flows in, cash flows out. So the basic premise of the accounting part of the accounting department in every business is making sure that you maximize income and assets and minimize expenses and liabilities. So as the basic accounting equation goes, net worth, or no, let's do profit first. So profit is equal to income minus expenses, and net worth is equal to assets minus liabilities. So the accounting department in every business revolves around those basic two formula: profit as well as the last one, which is net worth, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If a business wants to get a loan from a bank, they're going to ask for the business's report cards, i.e. their financial statements. More specifically, they want to see the income. How has money been coming in and out of this business over a specific point in time? And then they want to see net worth. How much does this business own compared to how much it owes? So that's why I said in the beginning, the accounting department is the department that is focused solely on making sure that you are positive. Your business is in the black. Sound accounting principles make sure that you're not spending more than you're taking in. And if you are spending more than you're taking in, you can identify that and with enough lead time so that you can figure out what you need to do to avoid that from happening as you move forward, as you move forward in your business. But all in all, accounting is important. And the reality of accounting, which I don't think most people really take into consideration, is we all do accounting. No matter who you are or what you do in the world, like every day you do accounting, because everybody has to pay bills. So that means everyone is always conscious of how much money they have coming in, and probably unconscious to how much money they have going out, which is why a lot of people end up in the financial distress that they end up in. But at the end of the day, income and expenses, assets and liabilities, those are the basic components of the accounting department in the business. Now, on a day-to-day perspective, obviously, if let's use an example of a cupcake shop. So what would be the accounting of a cupcake shop on a day-to-day basis? So first we have to say, okay, they're a cupcake shop, you sell cupcakes. So in order to sell cupcakes, you got to make cupcakes. So that means you got to be able to know what your expenses are in regards to how much does it cost me to buy the flour? How much does it cost me to get the equipment? How much? You got to factor all that in. So let's just say it costs you, with all things inclusive, for your cupcakes, in order to have a cupcake on the shelf to sell, let's just say it costs you $1. Now, with that being said, you have, and that dollar represents all the expenses. Or if you're looking at a profit statement, a profit and loss statement, a P&L or income statement, you'll see COGS, cost of goods sold. That represents the direct labor as well as the direct materials that went into selling whatever products that you're selling. So if you have a cupcake shop, your cogs are going to be things like, once again, the flour, the eggs, the frosting, the little paper that wraps around the bottom of the cupcake. You'll have things like the sugar. You'll have things like whatever toppings you put on top of it, and most importantly, you're gonna have the direct labor. So whoever is sitting there, going to go buy the materials, then they're going and mixing the materials, then they're going and putting the materials in the oven, and then they're going to take that's called direct labor. So that has to be factored into your cost of goods sold, aka your COGS. So once again, when it comes to the accounting of your business, like, you have to be mindful of things like profit, and you have to be mindful of things like net worth, because that's the backbone of your business at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So be mindful of that. Take that serious. Take your accounting seriously. When it comes time for you to file taxes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to be able to produce you're going to have to be able to produce at a bare minimum a P&L. So your accountant can look through that and be able to determine, okay, here's what I'm going to need to be writing off. And so when they go and do your taxes, they have a clear picture of what the performance was financially over the course of a fiscal year. So like I said, you got to be mindful of your accounting, especially on the day-to-day perspective, because you can save yourself a lot of time come tax time if you take the time up front to think things through in regards to accounts and whatnot. Accounts that things need to be applied to and whatnot. So what I mean by that specifically is, when you start off your business, or even if you've already been in business, you need to be mindful of your general ledger accounts. Now, your general ledger accounts, these are the accounts that represent what you've spent the money on and where the money came from. So for example, cupcake shop. And when you look at the P&L, the profit and loss, you're going to see for the income portion or the revenue portion of it, you'll see things like cupcakes. And then the next column might be the quantity you sold, and then the next quantity might be how much you've made. So to keep our math simple, let's just say you've sold 100 cupcakes that cost $2. So then you will see cupcakes 100 and they cost you $2, so that's gonna be 2 times 100 is $200. So your income is gonna be $200, revenue $200, sales $200. Now when we drop down the COGS, we said that it was costing us $1 to make. So if that's the case, between materials and labor is costing us $1 per cupcake, then that means that your COGS line items for the most part are going to be, for that 100 cupcakes, 100 times 1 is $100. So your COGS are going to be 100. So your gross profit at that point, and gross profit represents income minus COGS, that's going to give you $100. So now, with that being said, let's just say, for all intents and purposes, to keep our math simple, your expenses for that period of time, let's just say, came out to a clean flat $50. So now, with that being said, how much money do you have in net profit? $50. So your business would have earned you $50 in that period of time. And that is a basic example of a profit and loss statement, and why it's important that you understand that. Now, when we go back to the going back to the point I made before about your general ledger, you need to know the accounts that you're booking expenses into, because come tax time, the last thing you want to do is have to go through your P&L and have to recategorize things because you didn't take the time on the front end to make sure that either you, the person putting it in, knew which accounts to put it into, or the person that you've hired to do your accounting knew what accounts to put it into. So just be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Take the time up front to get your accounting on point, so that come tax time, you don't have to go back and try to figure out and waste time trying to recategorize expenses that should have been income and expenses that should have been categorized properly, because you set your system up properly. But at the end of the day, accounting, that is going to be the one of the most important departments in your business. No ifs, ands, and buts about it, because how the money's coming in and how it's going out is going to always be the telltale sign to the health of your business, as well as that's what's going to give people like banks, like people who you might need loans from, or just credit for whatever reason. That's what they're going to be looking for. That's what they're going to be asking you for. So make sure you keep that on point. Income expenses equals profit. Income minus expenses, I should say, equals profit. And assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Those are the main two formulas that you need to be conscious of when it comes to the accounting department in your business, and that applies to every business, no matter what you are selling. So next department is management. Management is where the bulk of the administration of the business is handled. So management includes things like your legal department, or your legal. So making sure you have the proper licenses and permits, as well as your legal structure for the business, whether it's a sole proprietor, LLC, C Corp, S Corp. And within the management department, the legal sector, that's what they handle. Then you got something that's human resources, or people. That's where you handle your hiring, your firing, your payroll, as well as any people issues, or people training. Training is another one. So that will be in the people or HR department, sector of your management department. Another important management department, you have things like operations. So the day-to-day operations, things like here's how to open up the office, here's how to close the office, here's who to call if this happens, here's who to call if that happens. That's all in that department right there, and on and on and on and on and on. But the ultimate point I want you to understand when it comes to management is that your job as the business owner is to make sure you have a good infrastructure in place, so that the people that you hire to work within your business are able to perform at their maximum potential. So that's why management is definitely a department that you definitely want to spend time creating processes for. And that's another sector of your management department, the documentation of the basic task of your business, because business systematization is what is ultimately going to allow you to separate yourself from your business, so that you're able to earn income through the business without you being there. So a lot of times, I'll hear small business owners say things like, "Oh, my process is just so complicated, I'll just have to do it myself." But then they'll also complain about I just have no free time. I have to do everything. The people that I hired are incompetent. But at the end of the day, as a owner / manager of a business, you need to understand that you will attract the people you deserve. So if you are approaching your business with a scarcity and fearful mindset at the end of the day, then that's the kind of people that you're going to attract. And those are the kind of results you're going to bring into your business. So be conscious of how you're thinking about your business, because whether you believe it or not, those thoughts are bringing in, whether positive or negative emotions into your business, and that's going to have an impact on you. So, but going back to management, management department, is another core department for an obvious reason, because you got to keep everything on point. And that's really what the management component of your business is all about. You want to make sure that you have, going back to HR, for example, and training, you want to make sure that you have your processes of your business documented, because that's what's going to ultimately free you, the business owner, up to be able to have the freedom that you desired, and which is more than likely the reason why you even started the business in the first place. You didn't start your business for it to basically, put handcuffs on you. That's not why you started the business. You started the business for freedom. So create the freedom by making sure that you have the proper processes in place so that you don't have to be physically there in order for the business to run. Ideally, as an owner, you know what I'm saying, you want to ultimately get your business to a point where you could be halfway around the world and the business keeps on running on all cylinders. And that is a very, very, very feasible objective to accomplish as long as you take the time to document your processes. I work with a small business owner on a day-to-day perspective, and it just blows my mind from time to time. You explain these types of concepts, and because business owners have been doing what they've been doing for however long they've been doing, it's kind of like they're blinded by their own perception of their success. So they have this mentality of, well, it's been working all right for me this time, so why change? And I firmly believe in the concept, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I also believe in the process of, hey, upgrade me, baby. Let's level up. Let's take it to another level. And in order for you as a business owner to take your business to another level, i.e. it being able to produce income for you without your direct involvement, then you're going to have to put some processes in place. You're going to have to hire some great people. You're going to have to train them. And then you're going to have to make sure that you are providing them with the resources to keep the wheels turning in the business. And that's ultimately where you want to get to as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? You want to get to a place to where, like I said, you can go be chilling with your kids or chilling with your wife or your husband or whoever, with your friends, doing whatever you want to do and not have to worry about whether or not the business got opened properly, whether or not certain checks got sent out, whether or not certain checks have been received. You don't have to worry about that because you have processes in place. And another beautiful thing about processes is that because you do have them in place, when things do go wrong in the business, you know exactly where to look. Because if you have a documented process and things aren't happening properly, then there's more than likely a couple of things that could be the problem. Either the person that you've trained to do that process, to handle that task, isn't following the process, or they're following the process, but when you created the process, when you document the process, I should say, you maybe had too many steps or not enough steps and they're not producing the right result. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like the person, the person just isn't paying attention. I think I may have said that one already, but it's really easy to fix problems when you've documented the basic processes in your business, because, like I said, you know who that task is assigned to, and you know how they were trained in that task. So if they're not producing the result that you desire, then you know exactly where to go, as opposed to trying to figure it out and just looking into the sky like, well, let's look over here. No, it's not there. Well, let's look over there. No, it's not there. As opposed to just like, oh, this specific thing happened, then that means that this specific person either wasn't following the process as it was written, or the process that was written is now obsolete and it needs to be updated. So let me go ask this person, like, what needs to be fixed with this process, and then go fix that process. But that's all kind of the basic things. That's what's happening in your management department. And like I said, you have other things as well, but like the most important components of your management are your day-to-day operations, your people, which is human resources, your legal, which is things like your licenses, your permits, etc. As well as as well as things like making sure that you have within the people department the proper training resources in place to make sure that the people that you're hiring are trained properly based upon how you expect them to perform and the results that you desire from them. So that's all management. So as the owner of your business, more than likely when you first get started, you're going to be having all the hats on, but as you grow in your business and get out of the startup phase, like, part of growth is we're hiring good talent so that you can take steps back from the business, so you could eventually get to a place where your physical involvement isn't required for the business to produce money, period. And that's the ultimate goal you want to get to, ladies and gentlemen. So the three main departments of a business: we talked about accounting and we talked about management. Now my favorite department is marketing. So let's end off on a strong note, talking about one of the most important, if not the most important department that most business owners, small business owners, I should say, tend to neglect, but not for bad reasons. As I said before, marketing is important because marketing is ultimately what is bringing in the leads and the sales. Marketing is the activities that you are engaged in to attract attention and build demand for your product and whatever product offerings that you have. So the most important component or element of any marketing department or campaign is going to be the offer. So the offer is ultimately what is enticing a person to want to do business with you. So going back to our cupcake shop, let's just say the cupcake. Let's just say the cupcake shop's been in business for a year or two, and the owner is looking at their profit and loss statement, and they're seeing that over the course of the last couple of months, they're starting to notice the sales are starting to go down. So obviously they need to, bring in more customers. So they need to bring in more customers. They need to increase the frequency at which the customers that they already have coming in are coming back. And then they need to increase the order value from the people who are coming in. So how does marketing accomplish those three things in this example? So first example, increase sales. So one of the options at disposal of the marketer, of the business owner at this point is, okay, we want to increase our sales. So we want to bring in more new customers. So what kind of offer could they put out into the marketplace to get people to come in to their business to try them out? Let's say they come up with an offer, a 2-for-1 deal for first time customers. So the offer is, if you're a first time customer, buy one cupcake, get one for free, or get one for half off. Well, let's just say get them in the door, buy one cupcake, get one for free. Obviously, that's going to bring in some new customers. It's going to bring in some new blood. And you specifically say this is an offer for first-time customers. So people who are trying this out for the first time, here's what you have access to. So that's how we're going to increase sales. Now, how are we going to get people that are already coming to our business to come back? What kind of offer can we give them? Well, one of the things we can offer them, let's just say, same concept. So let's just say, all right, for our returning customers, buy one cupcake, get one for half off. So that's going to make the people who have already coming there come back for more, because they say, oh, well, I like the vanilla cupcake, but I usually only have $1 or $1.50 on me when I come in here. But I usually have a couple of bucks on me, but hell, and I need that money to go buy something else. But if I buy one and get another one half off, that means I want $1.50. Oh yeah, I can swing that. So yeah, let me get this, and then boom, you're gonna increase. Now the last objective of increasing the order value, how can we do that? So let's just say, hey, that's where the world famous McDonald's upsell, would you like fries with that, comes into play. So how can we upsell someone at our cupcake shop? So let's just say some ancillary products that we also sell at our cupcake shop. Let's just say we sell some juices, some bottled juices, bottled water, bottled soda, bottled milk. We have other little knickknacks. We have little cupcake chips, let's just say, which is basically cupcakes that have just been, thinly or sliced thinly, and they're just wrapped individually. Cupcake chips, whatever. So you have those things right there. So when someone is coming in, so let's just say that first time customer comes in for that offer of buy one get one free, which they take you up on. But then of course they need to wash them down. So you say, would you like milk with that? Oh, of course. So you add that to the order, which increases the order value. Same thing for the person that's returning. They came in, bought one, they got one half off. Would you like milk with that? Yes. Increase the order value. And that's the basic premise of marketing, ladies and gentlemen. You're trying to attract attention and build demand for what it is you have to offer. So then with that being said, the next step is, okay, well, what can I offer these people to get them to come in to my business for the first time so I can increase my sales? What can I offer the people who have already been who are already patronizing my business? What can I do to get them to come back more? And then lastly, what can I do to get the first time customers and the returning customers to spend more per transaction? And that's ultimately what you're doing when it comes to marketing. Now, like I said before, marketing, unfortunately, is a department that usually gets neglected in most small business, but not for good reasons. And that quote unquote good reason, more often than not, is the business owner is running the business. So unfortunately, they don't have time to focus on the marketing because they're stuck running the business. Once again, why are they stuck running the business? Because more than likely they haven't created processes and documented those processes so that they can hire people to do those specific tasks, so that they can take a step back and have more free time to work on the business. So as I believe it's Robert Kiyosaki, he always talks about, the objective of a business owner isn't to work in the business, but to work on the business. So what will allow you to ultimately be able to work on your business more often than not is making sure that you have great management infrastructure in place and processes in place, so that your accounting is going to be on point, and then as well you have the time to focus on marketing. Because ideally, as a business owner, your goal is to produce a net profit. So going back to our profit and loss statement that we talked about from accounting, you want that gross, that, as I said, the bottom line gross profit, you want that to be as big as possible. So that means you have to have marketing in place to bring in the income, the revenue, and the sales. You have to have good management in place to make sure that the expenses are controlled and minimized, but you're still getting the best performance out of your people, so that bottom line could be looking real nice and chunky at the end of whatever time interval you're using to measure the performance of your business. And that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 core departments of every business, no matter what you are selling: accounting, management, and marketing. And as I said before, marketing, unfortunately, is the one core department that usually gets overlooked, because most business owners, in most instances, most business owners, they have not taken the time to document the processes of the tasks that they need to have complete. So they get stuck working in the business as opposed to being able to work on the business. So to quick recap, the 3 main core departments of every business, no matter what you're selling: accounting, management, and marketing. Boom. As I like to say, those 3 departments form what I call the business triangle. So with sound management, sound accounting, and sound marketing, you will be able to protect the investment, which is the business. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that does it for today, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Shoot me an email at billionairebelief@gmail.com. Don't forget to go over to Instagram and follow us at BBWCN. And while you're there, make sure you take us up on our offer for a free study guide, so that you can get just a cheat sheet on the basics of personal finance and building wealth, et cetera, so that you can at least have a solid foundation to build your wealth from. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? You'll be in a community. You'll receive emails from us about, business, investing, and finance, so that you can ultimately achieve your goal of living your version of financial freedom. So I love you as always. Reach out to me. I want to hear from you. Either way, I want to hear, baby. So that does it for today. Dhane Diesil out. Peace.